Hey guys, it's Tim coming at you with a review of Steve Rogers' Captain America #1. Now just to be clear right off the bat, I'm going to be reviewing just this first issue for now, and then once the arc ends, I'll be back to review the whole storyline in a later video. But for right now, let's get into it. Our story starts with a flashback to Steve when he was a child and him and his parents coming back from some sort of community meeting. Steve's dad is drunk, and because he thinks that his mom was flirting with someone else at the meeting and generally disrespecting him, he beats her, but is then stopped by a mysterious woman who shows up wearing red. Back in the present, Steve, now back as Captain America with a new shield, is going after a train that's being overrun by Hydra, who are attempting to blow it up. He's operating under Sharon Carter and is assisted by his former partners Jack Flag, Free Spirit, and Rick Jones. As he's fighting off Hydra, we get to learn more about the suicide bomber who's planning on taking out the train, about the various abuses that have taken place throughout his life, and how he got to this point. The end result is him joining up with Red Skull and Hydra, who seems to be primarily recruiting young people who are unemployed and people who are white supremacists and fall on that side of the spectrum. While Steve and his team are able to stop the train, Steve's unable to convince the suicide bomber from activating the bomb and killing himself. During this time, we're also periodically getting more and more flashbacks about the woman in red getting closer and closer with Steve's mom. After everything with the train, S.H.I.E.L.D. is able to pinpoint Baron Zemo, who's been on the run since he escaped from Pleasant Hills back in Standoff. And Zemo is trying to rebuild a new Masters of Evil in order to continue his plans of taking over the world and hopefully getting a new cosmic cube. Steve and his team are sent in again, this time to take out Baron Zemo and the few people he was able to recruit so far, which eventually leads to a twist ending. And since that's the big thing blowing up right now, let's just address that right out of the gate. Honestly, there's just not enough there yet in this issue to draw any conclusions based off of the ending. I won't give it away in case you haven't seen it and are interested in picking up the issue. And it's really just set up for the arc. There's really nothing more to it beyond the line itself that's been floating around the internet, and we don't know anything about it yet, so we probably shouldn't jump to any conclusions about it. So let's talk about what we do know about the issue. And I won't lie, there are definitely issues with certain characters in the story. Some of the characters like Red Skull and Baron Zemo seem kind of off. And I can definitely see others, and I have seen others, getting more upset about this than I was personally. However, the heroes were very much on point. I like that they brought back sort of lesser-known Captain America supporting characters, including Rick Jones, who a lot of people don't even remember was a Captain America supporting character, to sort of help him out and round out the cast of this book, and they're all very likable in their own regard. Some of their dialogue did seem to blend into one another every now and then, but overall I very much liked our hero cast for this book. Probably the only hero character who I had a problem with would be Maria Hill, who just seemed off for her entire appearance in this issue. Overall, I'm going to give this issue a 7 out of 10. I can definitely see other people getting more upset with some of the content of this book than I personally was, and I totally understand that. But to me, overall there's nothing to be too upset about, and I've really liked how the characters were presented, at least on the hero side in this book. Like I said, I'll be back once this arc's concluded to give my overall thoughts on it. But until then, this has been Tim from the Hydra Network, signing out.